Leon Edwards pulled off something that nobody expected other than Leon Edwards, which is to knock out the pound for pound two in the world, a guy that is very close to tying Anderson Silva's greatest record, longest win streak. And Leon Edwards just beat him. He just knocked him out like he was not invincible. But it's one thing to knock Kamaru Usman out, but it's another thing to do it again. And how can Leon Edwards pull it off one more time? Because he's made it very clear that he's not doing this just for himself, but he's doing this more so for others, for people that grew up exactly like he did, from people that grew up from nothing, can reach that 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 fame, that glory, that status. Okay, no glove touch. And the thing is, there is an issue with there is a definite issue in not doing it for yourself, but doing it for others. You know, he's made it very clear that he's doing this for the people that grew up like him, for people that came from where he came from. I meant for, not from. And that is why he did it from England. He proved that you do not need to go to a different country just to gain wrestling ability. He's shown that. He took down the current holder, prior to the Leon Edwards, the current holder of least bottom control percentage, tied with some other guys as well, and least bottom control time, tied with other guys as well. And Leon Edwards said, I don't care. And Leon Edwards, right, he's made it very clear that he does this for the people, not just for himself. And that's respectable. People like that. People love when guys do that. You know, when they're selfless, you know? But the problem is, how are you gonna find the motivation to prove to the people like me, that believe that the win was just destiny? And I don't like that word, destiny, because that feels cheap. You know, it feels like you're dismissing the ability and you're dismissing the skill whenever you say destiny, you know? Like Michael Bisping, you know, people say it's like, oh, it's his destiny, he's lost an eyeball. And for me, it's like, well, you can't take off the skill of the man, you know? But on this one, it's hard, man. It's hard. Because I think Kamaru Usman made it clear that he is the better fighter. He is definitely the better fighter, you know? First of all, he outlanded Leon Edwards. He taken down. First of all, he outcontrolled Leon Edwards. He took down Leon Edwards more than Leon Edwards took him down. Not just that, but he was landing damage. He was landing the better shots. You know, it was quantity and quality. But Leon Edwards landed that one beautiful shot that was the whole story of the whole fight. The story of the whole fight, that he was losing until he wasn't. That was the story of the fight. Okay? And the problem that I'm trying to say, the problem with trying to find the motivation is, how will Leon Edwards have that motivation to prove to the people that his win is not a fluke, that his win is not just destiny? and how he is actually better than Kamaru Usman. He claimed to be better coming into the fight against Kamaru Usman. Okay, he claimed to be better in all aspects. And being a mixed martial artist in all assets of being a mixed martial artist. And I think Kamaru Usman made it very clear that he's better. Of course, being better does not really mean that, you're not going to lose the fight. I mean, we've seen it thousands and thousands of times. Amanda Nunes, better than Juliana Pena. I think she proved that, right? But that does not mean that she will win. It just means that you have more chance to win. The chance of you winning is more likely, right? And Leon Edwards, he said that he's not just doing this for himself, he's doing it for others. But beating Kamaru Usman does not require you to do it for others. Okay? People will not be motivated to reach greatness or to follow something that they're passionate about, or to rise up from the ashes when they see Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman. They don't look at that and go, okay, Leon Edwards beat Kamaru Usman. No. Leon Edwards is gonna have to find a person inside of him that wants to be respected, because he's been disrespected his entire life. People believe that he will lose. People believe that he does not deserve to be here, when he's made it very clear that he does. How is he gonna find that ego that inside himself that believes that his win is not a fluke, and that he needs to prove it to the people that believe, like me, that it was just a fluky win? How is he gonna find that ego inside of him that wants to prove the doubters wrong? How? Because it's not easy. It is not easy. Because Leon Edwards made it very clear, very, very clear, that I'm not gonna change myself. I'm not gonna have this ego, just because I can sell fights. No, he's not gonna do that. He also made it very clear that he's not that interested in rematching Kamaru Usman. He feels as though he needs to rematch Kamaru Usman. He needs to put closure to this whole rematch. He needs to put a closure on this rivalry. And he made it very clear that he does not want Kamaru Usman. If he can get Masvidal, he will. That is what he said. If I can fight Jorge Masvidal, I definitely will. I mean, not exactly like that. I'm not directly quoting him, but somewhere along those lines. Like he said, I'd love that. I'd love to see that fight in London. So that just means that he's doing it for the people again. He's doing it for the people to see that fight against Jorge Masvidal. That he believes that he can easily win. So he's not going out there. He's also made it very clear that that was his worst performance. So if you have your worst performance and you have the opportunity to rematch that guy that just gave you your worst performance, why will you not want to rematch the guy that gave you your worst performance? Why? That just tells me that Leon Edwards he's not selfish. He needs to be selfish. Because you're gonna need to require a motivator. Kamaru Usman will come out there more motivated than he ever is. Boy took his first loss and took it to the temple. That was the most lethal KO I've ever seen. Fucking eyes wide open. Eyes wide open. That is the definition of a nasty KO. And Kamaru Usman is gonna come out there very, very motivated. And you need to be more motivated than Kamaru Usman. You need to be more motivated than Kamaru Usman. You need to be motivated. Because if not, how are you gonna find that motivation to do what you did when you knocked out Kamaru Usman? How will you find that motivation again? You know? Because he said that he's doing it for the people, which is a damn great motivation. Okay? You want others that have been through your pain to not feel what you felt. That is a damn fucking good motivation. That can motivate a man to win a belt. That can really motivate a man to win a belt. So, if that motivation is strong, and Kamaru Usman's motivation at that time was to defend his belt, tie Anderson Silva, it's shown that nothing is equal to Leon Edwards' motivation. Can you imagine you were losing the fight, not just losing the fight, but you're being manhandled by a guy that has beaten you once. He's dominated you and he's manhandled you once, and it's happening again. That can break a man. You know, for you to go out there and say, I've changed, you cannot compare me to that guy, then all of a sudden it's the same result. It's the same result and the same performance. You cannot, you cannot. Some people they just break. They just break under, those facts. That that it that it happened to them previously and now it's happening again. Some people break, but Leon Edwards never gave up on himself. He's shown that motivation that he has, which is to give people like himself an opportunity to be something great, just like he did. He's shown it. It's a damn good motivator. It made a man that was losing a fight win the fight. While they were losing, they were getting manhandled. It happened once again, and that breaks a man. That makes a man quit. That makes a man have that thing, that insecurity in their brain that tells him you're not good. It's happening again. You've not changed. And man, Leon Edwards did it. That motivator really did work. But now that motivation, that massive box on your bucket list has now been checked. What now? Like, what are you now gonna do? What is now your motivation to go out there and do exactly what you did the second time that you guys met? What will be the motivation for Leon Edwards? He needs to be selfish. He needs to tell himself, I want people to respect me and think that that win was legit. Unlike Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards does it more so for people. The exact opposite of why Kamaru Usman does it. Kamaru Usman does it for respect. He does it for respect. And he was respected. He was respected. In coming into the fight, he was respected. Okay? Even Leon Edwards did not, shit on the guy horribly. If he was talking like Colby, this could have ended differently. But Leon Edwards he did not trigger Kamaru Usman. I'm not saying that could have affected it. I mean, it could have. But what I'm trying to say here is Leon Edwards should do exactly what Kamaru Usman does. Want that respect. You need that respect. You deserve it. People are not respecting you when you deserve it. And for Leon Edwards, he made it very clear in the Ariel Helwani show. I believe he said, "Yeah, people got their own opinion. People, will say what they want to say, but it's different from reality or the truth." Like he said something. Don't directly, like, I'm not directly quoting Leon Edwards, but like that's what he was trying to say. So that just tells me that he can't find that, that motivation to prove to the people that he is the rightful champion. It will that he is the rightful champion, and it was not a fluky win. It was a dominant win. He needs to prove to the people that what he did was something that he can replicate again. He needs to show the people that I'm better than the guy. Because Kamaru Usman shown that he's better than Leon Edwards. Now Leon Edwards can motivate himself to go out there and say, I want people to respect me. I want people to believe that it was not a fluke win. I want people to believe that I can do it again. I want people to believe that I am better than this man. Not just people, but Kamaru Usman. The problem is that it's very difficult to do. Leon Edwards does it more so for the people, not for himself. He will need to find an ego that wants that respect, that voice of the people to from it was a fluke to it was not a fluke, to Leon Edwards is better, to Leon Edwards is just better than Kamaru Usman, and that he was just gassed out due to Salt Lake City. He needs to find that ego that wants to be respected. And if not, I don't know what will be the motivation for Leon Edwards, but he will definitely have a hard time trying to get that ego. Because if not, man, the thing is, he needs to. It is a matter of need. He needs that motivation. Kamaru Usman is gonna come out there more motivated than he ever is. You're dealing with a much more motivated Kamaru Usman. You're gonna have to be equally motivated, or you have to be more motivated than Kamaru Usman, or at least equally as motivated as Kamaru Usman.